And a very good afternoon to you folks here on SpeedGaming 3. We're back! After a short break, we bring you the second match of today on SpeedGaming 3 in the Metroid Prime 2 Echoes Randomizer 2021 tournament. I am Captain MD13. I'm joined today, rather this time, by Nomad. How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing good. We had a fantastically kind of trolly seed at 12 noon today, and we're here at 3 p.m. now with another race and a couple of different changes with gentlemen's agreements this time around. We've got final bosses turned off this time, and the Dark World damage set to lenient, which means Dark World will require twice as much health to go through their respective areas compared to the 1.5 times it's been up to this point. Our runners have been given the green light in the race time. We will be seeing them catch up momentarily. But what are you looking to see in this seed as we kick things off momentarily?
It's a good question. I think especially after the one earlier today, maybe something a little more gentle. Like to see maybe one major boss, Chica or Quad. If I'm being really wishful here, actually using Grapple Beam. But other than that, nothing too out of the way.
We shall see. We are getting kicked off here now, and our first item in Great Temple is little blurry. Looks like Vanilla Violet. Yeah, that's Vanilla Violet.
Yeah.
And that is really what you want to see starting this off. You always want to be able to read this hint, because usually this hint is pretty solid. Light Beam is an Aegon. Case in point. And not in Torvis this time, like it was at noon.
That's true. There's not too many locations over in Aegon that are going to be particularly hard to access early in the seed.
That is, of course, assuming we find space jump and bombs in a timely manner.
That's fair.
We could still have something in Sank entrance. No special power-ups for this fight, though, so our runners are going to have to do this the old-fashioned way. Now, Koushi is a bit newer to the randomizer community, so we are going to see what her capabilities are here in this match. I'm looking forward to seeing what she can put on for us here. Crash, meanwhile, is a frequent flyer in our weekly races, which we normally hold every Saturday at 3, which we recently just got started getting restreamed, but needless to say, with 3 tournament matches going on today, one of which just got squeezed into SG5, yeah, we're not going to have any room to restream that today, unfortunately.
Well, looking good so far. Both of them made it to the Dark Alpha Splinter phase, which ironically is significantly smoother than the normal Alpha Splinter.
Yeah, the main reason being because Dark Alpha Splinter does not break lock when dashing at you. The only downside is he hits like a truck.
This is true.
20 damage per impact. And Koushi did burn a lot of health earlier, too, before the Dark Alpha Splinter phase, but it looks like our reward is a Borger.
Now that is an interesting start. That opens up a lot of possibilities that you don't see too often right off the bat, particularly going left once they come down the elevator here.
Indeed. Now, that was a Sky Temple key in Transport B access, so they'll be coming back for that sooner rather than later, most likely. That's certainly a very convenient Sky Temple key to leave for later.
Yeah, especially with the warp to start location so nearby. Basically, whenever they get space jump or morph ball bombs, they can just sort of pick it up for free on their way out.
Now, Koushi just scanned the key hint to reveal that it was key number 2. That actually is not a bad idea. The reason being is because with 2.0 introducing the proximity hints, if we get a reference to an item within proximity of Sky Temple Key 2, oh hey, early supers in TAS, if we get a proximity hint to Sky Temple Key 2, that lets us know that the item is referring to Grey Temple. So that's actually not a bad idea. And yeah, Crash going to go ahead and task jump for this for these super missiles. I don't blame him for doing this at all because again, having early supers just trivializes so much of the early game. It trivializes Bomb Guardian, it semi-trivializes Jump Guardian, it certainly trivializes Space Pirates.
Definitely a good pickup, and there he goes.
And as THK points out in chat, because of the Power Bomb tank being an expansion and not the main Power Bomb, it's not considered usable by the logic, so that it doesn't open up Power Bomb checks just yet from the logic's perspective.
That's very true. We'll have to keep an eye out for the main Power Bomb expansion.
Ooh!
HUD
A curse?
system.
So that could either be a translator or echo visor, or it could be dark visor, in which case dark visor is not needed the whole seed. But it could either, yeah, it's most likely either echo or translator. And hey, there's bombs in transport to Aegon, so super missiles are in logic.
Yep.
And another missile system is in mining station access, locked by bombs, so it's either the vanilla missile launcher or seekers. Super missiles are a charge combo.
Not to curse the run or anything, but this is looking like a pretty generous start.
This is looking like a very generous start. Already very good offensive power-ups, and the early Aegon care package in bombs and missiles. Koushi has elected to not go back for supers yet. Probably will go back for them after picking up the missile system here. We'll see.
Yeah, this does sort of represent an interesting divergence point where there's...
Crash is firing a lot of shots at Mining Plaza. That might have been a Sky Temple key.
But yeah, the Morph Ball bombs represent kind of an interesting divergence point because while they're not quite as easy to use as a space jump, they do open up a lot of options for going back and checking things around temple grounds. My guess is, though, that now that Bomb Guardian is clear to defeat in logic, they'll probably do that and then come back later for the Dark Missile Trooper in addition to super missiles and all the other things in the normal loop.
That's very likely, and that was indeed Seeker Missiles in Mining Station Access, which means, and Seeker Missiles do count as a logical missile launcher in main launcher not required settings. Not exactly a good view at what was in Mining Station A, however. It doesn't look noticeable enough to be an expansion, though. And, yeah, chat's also suggesting it was a Sky Temple key in Mining Plaza, which already by default makes a Morbus required.
Well, time to add that to the tally, possibly.
Hey, you know, you're wishing to see Grapple Beam, there you go.
There we go. Now we just need something in Wind Chamber Gateway, and we're good.
Path of Roots or Abandoned Worksite might be a couple of good backups.
That's true.
But no space jump means next stop is Bomb Guardian, and Crash is actually going to have a bit... actually, both runners have a quick kill method for killing Bomb Guardian. In Crash's case, it's supers. In Koushi's case, it's the Power Bomb. But it looks like Koshi's going to go to Dark Aegon first. Or at least open the portal now to not have to deal with pirates later.
Yeah, it's an interesting divergence. We could get simultaneous, well, maybe not quite simultaneous. Crash will probably finish Bomb Guardian, but may have back-to-back Guardians with Jump Guardian entering the picture soon.
We could. Crash just trying to rush over to the sandstone blocks to break him before the cutscene. Not a bad play. And it looks like Crash is looking to charge up the super missile strat here. Perfectly executed.
And it's a one-shot. Wow.
Yeah, Bomb Guardian only has about 160 HP. Super missiles do 180. So, more than enough to do the trick. And it's for Light Beam, satisfying our hint.
Nice.
Wow, so we've got both, or I should say we've got Light Beam, bombs, and super missiles already. This is not a bad start at all, even with an Amorbus required. Even then, Light Beam or Super Missiles trivialize that fight. And it looks like Koushi is going to go to Dark Aegon.
Yeah. Now this may just be to open up that gate and get that one item there, or she could be going for the whole, well, no dark beam, so it'd still be maybe only 2 checks or so without the supers as well.
Yeah, with only this loadout, Warrior's Walk is not in play until we get Space Jump, unfortunately. But, yeah, right now, Koushi can only check Jump Guardian and Peak Crossroads. That's it. And Crash is going to make a very early pit stop here to Ventilation Area A to check this item.
Makes sense. Light beam and morph ball bombs.
And that is a suit.
Wow. That is a lot of really good items up front.
Yeah, a suit before energy tanks is probably one of the best things you want to see because that just not only does that trivialize Dark Aether, but it really just adds even more value to the first energy tank. And that is a missile tank in Transport Center. Looks like Koushi did decide to just immediately go back for Transport Center after opening the gate.
Makes sense.
We're only another beam away from access to Plane of Dark Worship. But now it looks like Crash is going to follow in Koushi's footsteps and go to Dark Aegon.
And Koushi potentially taking the warp to start already to start that temple ground slope.
I think Koushi was thinking about it, but in this instance, it's actually better if you want to do the Dark Missile Trooper route to just simply walk back to the elevator, because you're already halfway there by the time you get to Industrial Site.
That's true.
And as Chad points out, Koushi did not peek Crossroads, so we don't know what's up there yet. And has not fought Bomb Guardian, so DMT's not going to be there either.
That's a very good point.
That's a very interesting call here. From what I'm being told in chat, Koushi is does a lot of Prime 1 Rando, so she is familiar with some Prime 1 Rando tricks and out of bounds and stuff like that. So again, we'll see if that comes into play today.
Yeah. Now, I'm actually curious. It is out of bounds allowed in this tournament?
Out of bounds is allowed but never required.
Yeah. I've been trying to keep up with matches so far this week. Certainly started off with a bang here. I don't recall anyone actually having to, well, of course not having to, but actually making much use of that so far, right?
It's happened a couple times. We actually had in the Op 82 versus Mr. Miguel race, Mr. Miguel went out of bounds to check the mining plaza key because it was a red key, and if you go out of bounds, you can scan it from behind.
Ah.
Unfortunately, without Space Jump, you do have to lower the crate here. Although, she may be attempting a bomb, not Space Jump, but... Oh, never mind. She's going for Storage Cavern B, which has the vanilla missile launcher. Now we can actually fire missiles. No, I'm kidding. Although with bombs, she is able to go get those super missiles. And I think she just realized it.
Yep, headed up there now, nice and easy. Meantime, Crash is in fact going for a longer trip into Dark Aegon. on its way to Jump Guardian.
I like this play, especially with Dark Suit, because you have a lot more Dark Aether time, and you can check the Broom Closet without with bomb jumps without too much difficulty. Although I don't think the bomb jump to Broom Closet is in logic in these settings. If it is, I'm sure chat will gladly enlighten me. Dynamo Chamber has a missile tank. Chat calling for a potential vanilla space jump. That wouldn't be too shocking. We've had Jump Guardian be pretty important lately, having things like Annihilator Beam. I think we had a vanilla space jump. It might have been in a weekly, but Alright, Crash is electing to check Broom Closet first, and this is generally the better way to go about this. That way you don't have to jump back up again to check, to cheese Jump Guardian from a more optimal position.
A nice little optimization there.
Now, Koushi's electing to bomb jump from the center of the ledge over here in order to get up this to check comm area, but normally most runners will bomb jump from the near the entrance instead, because I think the rock face is a little lower. This is, however, where you would do NSJ, no bombs, to reach comm area's item if you had power bombs. But it looks like Koushi elected to do a bomb space jump method instead. And gets a light ammo tank for her trouble.
Meanwhile, Crash has finished pre-damaging Jump Guardian. Just got a little sliver of health left to deal with.
Did burn all of his missiles. Doesn't have a whole lot of missiles to play with at the moment, but we'll see if that changes. Vanilla space jump. You totally called that, THK. Nice one.
Now, fortunately for Crash, he is up to the 10 missile capacity, so he was able to get that refill quite easily off one of the blade pods.
Yeah, and furthermore, Space Jump does give us access to Warrior's Walk as well, so we got another item up for grabs in here, which appears to be Dark Ammo.
Looks like it, yeah.
And we're going to get to see what's in... Oh, that is Dark Beam in Battleground.
Oh, well, there you go. I was thinking that Dark Ammo expansion might have a little niche use if they happened upon Annihilator first. It would give them a little bit of ammo to work with there, but won't be necessary this time.
Okay, I'm pretty sure both Ing just tried to ball into their way into Samus, and they got a double gutter.
Yeah, these Ing have the strangest AI in the game, I swear.
They do. Missile Tank in GFMC, Koushi elected to not dupe it, was having a little trouble with the dupe slope jump. But yeah, so we're now looking at both beams, both missile upgrades, a suit, and bombs. We literally already have. We're just Amber Translator away or Boost Ball away from Torvus access.
Yeah, this has gone very quickly. They have so many options left still with, they haven't even touched labs yet.
Yeah, but in circumstances like this, one downside is that because so many checks are open, so many checks could have items that you never know now.
This is true.
And Chad points out, yeah, we with this equipment, we have access to Sky Temple key hints. We just need Light Beam Super Missiles, some way to the Dark World, and Seeker Missiles.
And there's our Dark Beam. I wonder how long Crash is going to go until he warps back and tries for those hints. I know that in this situation, I probably would take a little while to realize that I even had everything, because there's so many requirements to get there. It's not often that you get it this early.
Certainly. Now, it should be noted that Sky Temple Key 8 was just picked up by Koushi, so now what we need to look out for in this case is we need to see if an item proximity hint shows that an item is 3 rooms away from either Sky Temple Key 2 or Sky Temple Key 8. That's obviously not Violet Translator. If that is the case, we can tell ahead of time that item is Umos 2. Which it's not often we get to make such clear proximity hints based on Sky Temple keys, because usually if you get a Sky Temple key proximity hint, it's trash, because, especially if it's generic Sky Temple key, like an item away from a Sky Temple key, that's the worst case, right?
Yeah.
And to answer your question, chat, yes, elevators are not considered for proxy hints, and neither are portal transitions. So if an item is indicated as in a specific world, or like in like a temple, it's in that world. It's not going to be in a dark world equivalent. It was initially, portal transitions were initially taken into account in 2.0, but I think in 2.2 that, or somewhere near that line, that was patched out, and it was elected to go with with not counting portal transitions. I didn't see what was in Doomed Entry. I can't really tell based on Crash's current equipment. Might have been a power bomb tank, not sure.
I
Nope.
thought it was some sort of ammo expansion, but I'm sure chat will be able to correct us here.
It probably was, because I don't see any suit or ball changes, and I do not see any increases in power bombs or missiles.
THK saying that it was light ammo.
Okay. Now, while it should be noted, while suits do protect you from Dark Aether damage, they do not protect you from physical damage, so enemies will still deal the same damage regardless of suit. Contrary to Prime 1, where increased suits would increase damage resistance.
Yeah, so I'm sure at this point the runners are very grateful for all the progression items, but are also going to be quite happy when they find their first D-Tank.
Certainly. And Crash is going to take a quick detour to Incash 4 before finishing up this Aegon dive. We'll see if he chooses to go to labs or check hints.
Just another cheeseburger there.
Alright, let's see what Koushi decides to do next. And yeah, there is definitely something glowing in Mining Plaza that is not an expansion. I would definitely wager at this point that that's probably a Sky Temple key. Can he survive a trip to hints with one suit? Yeah, one suit, no E-tanks is absolutely possible. But you might have to just stay put a little bit when you get to right before Sky Temple Gateway. Because it's possible to do this on two E-tanks Varia suit. Which we saw earlier in the Z-Chaotix Arrow Razor race earlier today. You're... Alright, so Koushi is on her way. I assume this is a play to Bomb Guardian for what will be her Light Beam. I don't remember. Did Crash check Mineshaft on the way out? No, Crash didn't have Dark Beam at the time.
Right. I would not be surprised if we saw them covering each other's checks at this point. Crash has done pretty much just about all you can at this point in the front half of both Aegon and Dark Aegon, but he's not done much in the way of temple grounds. Whereas Koushi still has to go pick up her space jump, fight Bomb Guardian.
Yeah, I'm actually very surprised Crash isn't just taking a safety save, warping and going to check hints and preparing to save scum them. That actually is really easy to do with less health, because then you can just use the Phazon to speed up the death warp.
That's true, although it looks like he's headed to labs now.
This is a fair play as well. There's still a ton of checks in here. You can check pretty much all of it. The only one check that's out of logic right now is storage C without either the other two ball upgrades or screw attack.
Yeah, although I
And
would not be at all surprised if he used the scan dash method to get over there. It never feels good leaving that one check abandoned when you can cover everything else in the area.
yeah, I do approve of the scan dash method as well. It's certainly saved my checks a few times. Oh, here's mine shaft, which is sunburst.
And not going for it.
Wait, sunburst right next to light beam. Really, game?
Well, at least it was, right next to it, and not teasing like certain other races that we've seen recently.
That is, I think that's light suit in mining station B.
Wow.
And that is currently not in logic without either boost ball or screw attack.
And another Sky Temple key.
Ah, progression in storage A. That's rare. So I think what Crash is going to attempt to do here is a bomb space, or not. Alright, but Crash knows that's there now. Now the question becomes, if Crash gets screw attack or boost ball, will he drop what he's doing and go back to pick up light suit to route in feeding pit?
That is a good question.
Now, technically, there is a way to get this without boost ball. What you can do is you can still do the drill puzzle, because you don't need boost to activate the drill and to stop the drill in the elevated position. You can get a slope jump to get up to the drill without going up the boost ball half pipe, and you can do a bomb space jump to get to the item from the drill. Koushi is electing to go for the angled bomb jump strategy to get to labs. Now this is out of logic without space jump, but still gets the first part nicely done.
Yeah, we've seen quite good movement so far out of both of the runners, being able to pull off a number of these tricks to smooth out their routes.
Yeah, chat pointing out Koushi may just want to open it up. Also, there was a boss there in main reactor, but yeah, Dark Samus is kind of weak to power bombs.
Usually get just enough time to register her name on the little enemy health bar, and that's about it.
And it's all
there's
for
the
Sonic Boom. So we've seen Sunburst and Sonic Boom. Now we just need Dark Burst, and that'll complete the trifecta. I'm gonna laugh if that is Dark Burst in main reactor, but that is a life support system, which we know is not light suit at this point because we're fairly certain it's light suit in mining station B.
And if I remember
Oh
correctly,
my god, it is Dark Burst.
Perfect. If I remember correctly, you need light suit in order to access that item normally.
Yes.
Is that right? So yeah, it would have to be an E-Tank no matter what. But it is nice having information about that suit so that whenever a life support system does come up in the hints, we know for sure that it's an E-Tank.
The same with Ing Reliquary being a missile-related upgrade, because Seekers are normally needed to get that upgrade. So if you see that it's missile-related, you know it has to be Seekers, or it has to be a missile tank, rather.
Crash being careful, taking his time with the yeet beams here. As you mentioned, the dark suit that he has will not reduce damage taken from these, and they can hurt.
Yeah, I think the yeet beams deal 1 damage every 2 frames that you're in them. So I'm close to that. That looks like another Sky Temple key in bioenergy production.
See, here's the reason why he hasn't warped back all along. He's just going to get all the keys before he even needs to go check the hints.
That might be the case because given that final bosses are turned off, Screw Attack and Spider Ball are no longer mandatory. Oh, Koushi is attempting to go to dueling range, not dueling range, Judgment Pit via the bomb jump method. Gets it, nicely done. Koshi's been demonstrating some excellent bomb space jump magic here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm only just semi-recently learned to do bomb space jumps as well, so I can definitely attest to them being, to BSJs being amazing tricks. Yeah, it looks like Koshi got a lucky energy drop, but is going to go back and heal a bit. And indeed, Crash is attempting the scan dash to get Storage C, doesn't quite get it first try.
Yeah, this shortcut that Koshi is taking can save quite a bit of time, but it's very unforgiving when you don't have a suit or a few energy tanks to spare.
Indeed, yeah, because without any suits or tanks, you only get 16 and a half seconds of Dark Aether time. That looks like it should be good. Yeah, there he goes. And
And we
storage,
have
more dark ammo. But yeah, I'm trying to think. There's not a whole lot of. Well, actually, to be of note, we only have bombs as our main, our current morph ball upgrades. We still don't have main power bombs or booster spider.
this
So
is
we're
true.
actually, it's not too often we get so few morph ball upgrades this late, more than half an hour into the seed. Crash doing reverse labs like this is also really nice because it just speeds things up going back, especially in bioenergy production. Fun fact, the worst enemy of the Metroid, doors. And that would be another Aegon key in Command Center, and I do think we need that. In fact, while we have a minute here, while Crash is checking stuff, I'm going to go back and check the VOD and see if I can get a better look at Mining Plaza.
Sounds good. Yeah, it looks like Koshi has decided most likely to take the more conventional route to jump Guardian through the front. I do not blame her for that. You can easily end up burning a lot of time waiting to recharge your health between attempts on the jump. So this may turn out to be the more efficient option in the long run.
And I am fairly certain that that is a Sky Temple key now in Mining Plaza. We can double check this as well when our runners check hints. And Crash showing us why Dark Beam is amazing for labs. Didn't get quite the best look at Central Mining Station back there. Yeah, unfortunately, Koshi's got to wait a second to get a bit of a health refill. Also, she must have fought the. She must have fought the warrior ring because she stepped into this light field and,
Yeah, normally that triggers the fight. Of
yeah,
course, with
there it
super
is.
missiles, with super missiles and light beam in tow, she should be able to make quick work of this. If it will spawn.
It spawned, but it's moving around everywhere. Like, it's not coming out, is the problem. Yeah, I think in this circumstance, it'd be better to fight it from the light field initially, because I think that's where the game expects you to be fighting them from. Normally 8 light beam shots is enough to easily deal with this warrior ring. And Koushi has a ton of ammo. But looks to be just conserving it, I guess.
Well, she doesn't have a read on where Dark Beam is, so that kind of makes sense. She doesn't know how long she's going to have to wait until she can recharge it.
Fair enough, I guess. But looks like Crash is at the very least opening up the path to Central Mining Station. There might be something worth it in here.
At the very least, you can get the key bearer hint.
Yeah, the best this could actually be right now is Dark Visor, because that opens up the Battlegrounding cache, that opens up the HUD system in a cursed lake. Puts a few options on the table. I don't think it... I think it might actually be the last Aegon key.
Oh, wow.
And I just realized, if it is a key in Mining Plaza, we need Screw Attack anyway, so... Oh, it is Emerald Translator.
Oh, well, there we go. Now, when they finally get that last piece of Torvis access, they'll be able to clear most of it at this point.
Yeah, right now for Torvis access, they are looking for either still Boost Ball or Amber Translator. And we see that Battleground has a key, so that could be Sky Temple or Aegon, depending on where Dark Visor's chilling at.
That's true. I feel like we've seen so many Sky Temple keys at this point that just going by numbers, there's better odds of it being a red key.
That is very true. We've seen the 2 in Great Temple already. We've seen the one in Bioenergy, and we think there's one in Mining Plaza. It's a fairly safe bet because Crash was shooting at it a lot, so... Looks like Koushi is electing to fight Jump Guardian the intentional way. With extra missiles and... with extra missiles, this fight is a little less of a pain in the backside, but it's still a pain in the backside. That is interesting. I've never seen Jump Guardian come up to go up to the ledge at such low health.
Yeah, that is unusual. Normally it's just spamming jumps from side to side on the ground at that point.
And Crash is now making the Hive Chamber play here. And yeah, vanilla space jump. Not something I'm sure Koushi wanted to see at this point.
Now we'll see if she heads over to Battleground and picks up her Dark Beam. Probably going to take a quick detour to the broom closet first, and yep, she's highlighting Warrior's Walk.
Yeah, and actually with both beams, the entirety of Dark Labs was also in play, which I'm actually surprised Crash didn't go for earlier.
Yeah, that's true.
Actually, no, Crash did see, though. I take that back. Crash did do that. My mistake.
Oh, and THK brings up a very good point about getting into Battleground from this side, which is the Inclaws.
It's possible to get there without a suit, but you need full health, absolutely. Which is possible, you just gotta wait it out a minute in here. Literally a minute, because it's 1 health per second in these. But nothing of significance in the Hive Chambers. Koushi is going to have to literally gun it to the, Oh, she's not using the morph ball. Luckily, the ink claw damage doesn't apply immediately. It takes a couple of seconds, which thankfully was enough for Koushi to realize something was wrong.
Yeah, and she may have also just been ducking in real quick to see what the item was.
And now that she knows it's Dark Beam, that's going to be a different tune. She only has about 5 seconds of Dark Aether time right now, so it's tough to get to a safe zone without a whole lot to work with.
Yeah, and she is in a rather tricky spot without that suit, because when you think about it, this is the way over to Battleground, because normally you'd be using the Dark Beam in order to activate the portal in labs.
This is the way. Sorry, I couldn't help it. Crash is electing to not check Plane of Dark Worship. Might be looking for Dark Visor real quick just to get to route in both with that with the Cursed Lake on the way out. To answer your question, chat, Dark Suit was in Ventilation Area A. And no, lighting up the crystals with Light or Annihilator Beam does not increase the healing speed. It does, however, increase. Both beams do, however, increase the duration that a chargeable energy beacon is active for. Instead of 15 seconds, it's 30 seconds. And we saw that Ing Reliquary was a beam-related upgrade, which means it could be Annihilator. But it's somewhat unlikely at this point.
Yeah, odds are definitely in favor of an ammo expansion.
Now at Space Jump here, Crash is going to be able to easily dupe this missile tank if he so chooses, but elects not to. We can actually read the Fortress Transport Access hint as well. And that is another missile tank on the ship, so GF Missile Compound.
Alright, and Crash already has the Dark Beam out for these rather deadly turrets.
Yeah, as anybody who saw the Z Chaotix Arrow Race can attest to, those turrets do hurt. The Dark Torvus Temple keys, I could not read that in time.
Are in either Torvus Bog or Dark Torvus Bog, and is that Inghive at the end?
I am consulting the playback. It is just Dark Torvus and Inghive. So that means there are 2 keys in one of those areas. Because they will always hint at where the red keys are, but they won't, like, trick you into thinking one key is elsewhere. We're going to get a wind chamber check now from Crash. And that is... looks like an ammo tank of some kind.
Yeah, it's a little hard to tell, but it doesn't seem to be anything too important.
And it looks like Crash is going to be attempting some scan dashes here to arrive at Wind Chamber Gateway.
Gets the first one very nicely.
Fun fact about Wind Chamber Gateway, for whatever reason, there's no fall damage, terminal fall damage in Wind Chamber Gate.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Crash trying a few roll jumps to get over the item if it's important, which it does not look to be.
It looked like it was an energy tank.
I thought it was a light ammo expansion, but it's kind of hard to tell. Both of them are about the same level of glowiness, I think.
I think, I thought I saw a bit of a wider model, but, it wasn't an E-tank. Okay, thanks, chat. Chat always looking out for us.
The third commentator.
But yeah, so Wind Chamber Neck of the Woods not important today, thankfully. We actually haven't had a whole lot of Wind Chamber requirements so far this tournament. We've had Windchamber Gate show up a few times, but not Windchamber itself. And Windchamber itself is a pretty nasty check in vanilla.
Oh yeah, takes quite a few items, which is probably why we haven't seen too much of it.
To this day, I still haven't gotten a chance to master the BSJ screw attack to get that to get Windchamber, which I would. That's definitely on my list of tricks to learn because that would save about 2 minutes of boost balling and secret missiling.
Oh yeah, there's so much back and forth to that puzzle.
Although I would say the worst Dark and Light World back and forth is definitely Transit Station, if you don't have the slope jump screw attack method. Or BSJ screw attack method. Basically, if you can't do Transit Station fast. Because that's 4 transitions back and forth total. Crash picking up the second Great Temple Sky Temple key. Try saying that 5 times fast.
And completing his loop, this time able to just walk right through instead of save warping, thanks to the Emerald Translator.
So now the question is, and this actually routes in perfectly well with Crash deciding if he wants to check Plane of Dark Worship now. We are also still looking for that third Dark Aegon key, which it could be in Battleground if that key bear hint is anything to go by.
That's true, we would still need Dark Visor for that, but I think that's the only thing we're lacking at this point.
Just about. Koushi's got to be a little bit careful here dealing with the lasers, and now has to fight the pirates here without any energy tanks. Is a little bit low on health, so is going to have to play very cautiously here. The extra missiles are definitely playing a part so far in ensuring her safety when dealing with enemies.
Yeah, and the Prime 2 drop system coming in handy with a 50 energy pickup.
Absolutely. But yeah, so far I hesitate to find anything with this seed that has been particularly trolly or or not particularly fast, and it looks like Crash is going for whatever is here in Plane of Dark Worship, which is another visor. It is dark. Wow, that's convenient. To a Curse Lake we go. I think.
Get a Cursed Lake, and now can also get War Ritual Grounds and Defiled Shrine potentially on the way to picking up hints.
Yeah, Dark Visor's a big pickup at this early stage of the game. Actually, wait a minute. Did a Curse Lake have a key? I might be having a mind fart. I might be thinking Battleground.
Wasn't this
Also,
the HUD system?
Yeah, this is the HUD system. That's right. So this is either Echo or Amber/Cobalt. Now, dumbing. And it is Amber by the looks of it.
That is not something you see too often.
That is definitely Amber Translator. But yeah, Crash wants to be really careful right now because those Hunter Ink can very easily one-shot him if they're not careful. Or they can just, casually fly into the light field. Idiots.
Seeds being friendly today. Huntering are being friendly today.
Yeah, definitely props to both of our owners for putting Survival Instinct in play, given the given the lack of energy tanks we're getting so far this seed. This is actually getting kind of ridiculous. Alright, Koushi's now in bioenergy production.
And thankfully, due to going around the normal way, only has to deal with the pirates and not a pack of Metroids.
Yeah, although is out of missiles and just took a face plant from one of those pirates.
Well, they do not do nearly as much damage as that explosion would suggest.
Yeah, thankfully it is only 20. And it is only the one or two explosions, but even still, you still don't want to be face tanking that.
Yeah.
And yeah, actually, I remember something that came up in one of the races yesterday that was very enlightening is that the game ensures that you can get to Sky Temple Gateway before placing Sky Temple keys. So because we got so many early items, um, that's why we're also seeing equally as many early Sky Temple keys because we had early Sky Temple Gateway access.
Oh, fascinating. I didn't know that.
Ooh, Defiled Shrine also contains a key. Oh yeah, that's another thing that was brought up. That is a thing. We're also running lenient damage restrictions, which means technically they need twice as much energy as the logic would normally expect them to have in order to like do things like Dark World runs to like Hazing Cliff, for example. And I don't know what Crash saw in Hall of Honor Dead, but it looks like it was inducing some mild frustration.
Ah, yes, you can't actually pick that up with that boost ball yet.
Nope. It's an energy tank.
Yeah, it's not the fastest of items to get, but in this position, I would absolutely want one of those.
Absolutely, yeah. The lack of energy tanks this seed is just making making things painful. Yeah, space jump boots in Judgment Pit. Thanks, game. Now Koushi is trying to learn the scan dash on the fly here. The crates are not the place you want to. This would be the place you want to dash from if you were doing the Ink Cache 2 scan dash. In this case, you want to scan dash from the spider ball track or the farthest monitor. And it looks like, indeed, Crash is making the run over to Sky Temple Gateway. Does
All
still
right.
have to be very careful here, because A has to deal with the Hunter Ing, and B has to deal with the...
Corrupted Sentry Eyes, are they?
Corrupted Sentry Eyes, yeah. That Hunter Ing absolutely just slammed into the light field again. The nice thing about Hunter Ing is that they have a very loud and very drawn-out death sound effect. We're going to see what the Defiled Shrine key is. Honestly, if this is either Sky or Aegon key, either would be preferable right now. It is Sky. So he's choosing not to get it. I assume Crash actually might be save scumming these then. I assume saved at landing site and is preparing to do a death warp.
Yeah, that's quite reasonable because you can always just come pick that up on the way to the finish. Make that his 9th key.
Yeah, and I actually had stated in the last race that you want either Defiled Shrine or War Ritual Grounds to be your key 9s. I think Crash is going to take a little carefully when going around because these Spankweeds do deal 20 damage per hit. Crash should have just enough health to be able to check. He only has to check 5 key hints at this point. -1 because Defiled Shrine is the last one, but we'll see. Let's have a peek. Notepad armed. Gathering Hall, that's free. Actually, no, that needs ball upgrades. That is not free. I'm sorry. Main research, that's needs power bombs. Or, yeah, that needs power bombs. Hazing Cliff, that's free. Path of Roots, that's free. Defiled Shrine we know of. Oh, so then whatever's in Mining Plaza is not a Sky Temple key. Oh, maybe it's a ball upgrade then. Ooh, that would actually be a big oof if that's the case, because we need Boost and Spider for Gathering Hall.
Mm.
Alright, so yeah, the Sky Temple key hints aren't the worst. The Sky Temple key hints themselves are actually very good, all things considering, but the problem is,
How
we're
to get
missing a
there.
lot of stuff, yeah. Like, we just got Torvis access thanks to Amber Translator. In all likelihood, I would honestly wager that the Battleground ink cache is the third Aegon key. It's a fairly safe bet.
That's true.
Alright. Koushi has gotten past bioenergy production and is taking a safety save. Oh, Dark Visor is one room away from, lake access. Thanks, game.
I mean, to be fair, that actually would have been a really nice hint to get if Crash had not come through that to get here. Because it would have just
Yes.
turned right around.
Alright, so Koushi has defeated Dark Samus. Unfortunately, is going to be in big trouble because this is a soft lock. She does not currently have Dark Beam. And if the door closes on her, she is stuck. Now, you can get out of here with a BSJ. Hopefully the correct columns are still in place. Yes, they are. But it looks like she's XB starting anyway.
Well, fortunately, you had a save just before this, so no big
Yes.
loss.
Alright, welcome to Torvis Bog at 56 minutes. Ooh, Poison Bog is Morph Ball related. That could be anything. That could actually be anything.
Could be a power bomb expansion. We still haven't found main power bombs, but I don't think it could be boost, right? Because you would need light suit for this check.
You do need Light Suit for this check. That is Annihilator Beam in Torvis Lagoon,
Are
locked
we
by
gonna?
gravity.
And we're no screw attack, so no air underwater for this either.
Not yet, at least.
Later.
But, get excited. We're gonna get to see Grapple Beam used, we hope. Wasn't there something hinted in Path of Roots? Yeah, it's a Sky Temple
SDK.
key. Morbus is dead. So Morbus himself is not guarding anything important, but I think we can safely call... It might just be Cannonball in Mining Plaza, honestly. If it is Cannonball, then we can breathe a sigh of relief, but if it's Booster Spider, we might want to find Cannonball.
Yeah.
If it's Boost. That is a missile tank in Portal Chamber.
Meanwhile, Koushi has warped to start again, and heading back to Hive Chambers, it looks like.
Yeah, she hasn't done the, Has she done the Hive Chambers? I don't think she has.
Well, she's just unlocking the gate now.
Yeah, she definitely hasn't then. So Upper Dark Torvis, there's a few items in play here, but it looks like Crash is just going to finish the Upper Torvis loop first. Maybe do Dark Torvis later. We'll see. Because of how little we need, we're just looking for ball upgrades at this point.
Pretty much.
Yes, Arrow Razor. You can shoot the... there's enough of a gap in the gates where you can use either... One second. There's a gap in the gates where you can use either a missile, charge shots, various beams, charged regular works, charged dark works, charged annihilator especially works. fact, the logic can expect you to use Charged Annihilator in that instance. So we're going to get to look at the Torvus Temple area checks. We've got 3 perfectly good checks and a hint in here.
Yep. Speaking of hints, I wonder if Crash is going to go attempt Lower Torvus without Gravity Suit, given that there's several hints down there.
That is a good question, because the Lower Torvus hints have just time and time again, this tournament especially, just been lifesavers. We saw that in the race earlier in the Z-Chaotix Arrow Razor race earlier, which basically pointed Z-Chaotix to Cobalt Translator. That was a very nice execution through Torvus Temple, and Crash is going to be very well rewarded with that, with another, his actual first energy tank.
Some beam shots of excitement there, I'm sure.
Or frustration. And the temple has more dark ammo. And this hint reveals to us that the Emerald Translator is in Central Mining Station. Thanks, game!
Sure glad we had Emerald Translator to pick up that hint.
Oh my, it was an Emerald hint locked behind Emerald. Oh my god. Alright, so now Crash is going to check Torvus Temple access, which contains Spider Ball. That's pretty huge. We're just looking for boost for Go mode now. Because, yeah, Annihilator's not needed, I don't think, this seed. Not for keys, at least. Watch this be Boost Ball, because there's always progression in Underground Tunnel.
I would not be surprised.
It was the case earlier today, and it hopefully, and it probably will be the case now. It's definitely an upgrade. It is...
It's a ball.
Boost Ball.
Boost Ball. There you go.
That is actually going to put Crash in Go mode.
That's
at 101.49. I think. Hold on. And that's a Dark Beam hint. Thanks, game. Yeah, Gathering Hall, Main Research, Hazing Cliff, Path of Roots, Defiled Shrine. Yeah, those are all reachable with our current equipment.
Oh, wait. Power Bombs.
They have Power Bomb tanks, so they can absolutely skip main Power Bombs this seed now.
That's true. Yeah, may not be logical Go mode, but effective Go mode.
I'm not sure. Crash is probably looking for extra energy tanks just for safety. Because, yeah, at this point, Crash does not need to keep going. This is, Crash does not need any more gear. Because, Gathering Hall can be done with only 2 Power Bombs. So at this point, no, Crash is still doing checks. Maybe he's looking for Gravity Boost just to make Lower Torvus a little more pleasant. Might also just not realize he's in Go mode.
That's true. Honestly, it's not too often that you get a Jet Seed like this.
Yeah, no, this is, well, I mean, barring where main Power Bombs actually were, yeah, this is a Jet Seed, for sure. And for all we know, main Power Bombs could just be chilling in Plaza. Spider and Boost right next to each other. How about that? I think Crash is just
Yeah. Meanwhile, Koushi, unfortunately, still has not found her suit, which the being soft locked in Dark Samus certainly did not help with that, because either she had to go a very long way around or save warp and go all the way back to, was it the light door room off of,
Ventilation area A.
yes, that one.
Yeah, and the other thing is, Koshi may have forgotten that Dart Beam was in Battleground, because I know she saw it. It looks like Crash is going to go to Lower Torvis now. I think Crash just realized he might be he's in go mode. Oh, and in the race time the race time 5 minutes ago, Crash just said, "Wow, finally." Oh no, wait. The wow was the finally was 5 minutes ago. The wow was 12 minutes earlier. Probably Annihilator Beam.
Or E-Tank.
Well, the finally was definitely the E-Tank.
Mm.
The wow might have just been the keys, actually, because they are good keys.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think, again, barring where main power bombs actually are, we can call this a jet seed. So it must have been Cannonball in Mining Plaza. Cannonball or Gravity Boost. Which you can absolutely get away without Gravity Boost this seed.
That's true. Although, an interesting thing to note is that Crash scanned the lower lock on Hydro Dynamo here. I'm wondering if he's headed all the way down into the Alpha Block Power Bomb Guardian area.
It might just be that he comes back out through Undertemple access to reach the save station after Gathering Hall. Although that actually doesn't make a lot of sense now that I say that out loud. Because, yeah, final bosses are disabled. Crash doesn't need to store extra energy tanks. Oh, Koshi's having a little trouble here. Yeah, those blade pods can be a bit of a pain in the backside if you're not, if you're too close to the wall. We have a question, chat, of how long runs usually last. Usually they're anywhere from 90 minutes to 2 hours, entirely dependent on the seed, of course. Well, the seed and the runners, but this seed is looking very jet by comparison. And yeah, Crash has to take out the blogs here because needs to activate the boost spinner. Luckily, blogs themselves are way more cooperative than Alpha Blog.
And have a lot less HP.
Yes. So yeah, unfortunately without gravity, Crash has to take the intentional way to Gathering Hall. And yep, there's the Gathering Hall Sky Temple key, and Crash has 2 power bombs in tow, so this will be a safe check. So yeah, I actually can't tally on any bosses for this race, because I don't think we're ever going to find out where main power bombs are at this rate.
Yeah. Though, to be honest, I'm kind of tempted to start counting Underground Passage in the boss count.
Underground tunnel, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I could, but then the tally would go on like 5 pages if we just listed trolley rooms, so
That's fair.
be a little much for me to track.
And Koushi looks like she's not gonna root around for the suit, just charging up her one set of energy here and gonna make a run for it in Battleground.
Yeah, again, she can do this, but it's gonna tank her health quite a bit. Number one, and number two, she has to fight the warrior ring, which she has plenty of light beam for it. Also, grapple beam is useful once again.
Hey.
Yeah, no sign of screw attack this seed, and we don't need it.
Oh, she made it.
A major upgrade is in TAS. That would be referring to super missiles. Thanks, game. Lower Torvisant's actually not useful for once.
I mean, with this seed, it's pretty understandable. We've already collected all the good stuff by the time we got here.
Yeah, Koushi's Dark Suit is in Mineshaft, so that's actually a very easy Dark Suit to acquire at this point. Oh, wait. Hold on. No, Dark Suit wasn't in Mineshaft. It was in,
Vent Area A.
Vent Area A. Yeah, that's the Light Beam side, not the Dark Beam side. But yeah.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate that it happened to be there because without the Dark Beam, it's kind of tucked in a corner, essentially.
I would argue that if you're doing the temple and you have Light Beam, checking Vent Area A on the spot there is probably the best time you're going to get, in case Dark Beam is late to the party. But yeah, that's Crash's Gathering Hall key, and he's out. Now, Crash's remaining keys are... Let me have a look.
Hazencliff, Main Research, and...
Defiled Shrine. That's
Yep.
a free key 9, thankfully. So, has Hazencliff and Main Research. So, honestly, it would have been faster to just go through Vault side. Oh, wait, Crash doesn't... Actually, no, it wouldn't be. Crash doesn't have Screw Attack, so he can't open the tunnel. So he has to go through Sank Entrance.
Or take a very roundabout way through the spider side of Sank, which will be easy for Hazencliff, not so easy to get all the way over to Main Research.
Yeah, I think right now the Sank Entrance route is faster. But Crash may be disagreeing with me. I think Crash may be going through Spider's Treasure. Otherwise, we would have probably seen a save warp. Oh yeah, there is a slope jump you can do without gravity to get Gathering Hall without to get the Training Chamber statue moving. I forgot about that one.
And Koushi finally, with her Dark Beam, looks to be headed back to Dark Labs.
Gonna have to react a little fast here because this puts her outside the safe zone. Yeah. Alright, Crash has retrieved a bomb drop and is on his way to the Spider's Treasure. After being pill-bugged.
Ooh, that's a lot of energy lost there from the cloud.
It's a lot of energy lost. Unfortunately, Koushi's health went above 20, so isn't going to get the advantage of the likely gold drop. So yeah, light suit wasn't required. Main power bombs are required. The only missing question mark is main power bombs. Dark Visor was in a really convenient spot. I got nervous a second because I thought those ink things were going to ignite the Phazon canisters.
Oh yeah, that will do a lot of damage.
I think actually main power bombs are still required because main research. There's no way to get to main research from the other side since we don't have screw attack. It would have to be.
That's right. From Sank entrance, there's the normal power bomb door, and then of course from. Actually, can you drop down from?
You can drop down from Cat West, but to get to Cat West in the first place, you have to get to Vault Side from the top, and the only way to do that is with Screw Attack or Caretaker, with Screw Attack rather, or with an obnoxious roll jump. Take your pick.
Fair. Oh yeah, I guess even with Annihilator, you'd still need Screw Attack to get over to the Annihilator door for Sentinel's Path, is it?
Yes. Crash has retrieved an energy tank in Hall of Combat Mastery, a little extra safety, can't blame him.
Yep, at 3 tanks in Dark Suit, I'd say that he's probably pretty comfortable at this point, especially without having to worry about final bosses.
Yeah, this would honestly be enough for me to go with final bosses, but without, yeah, this is definitely safe. No need to worry about what's in the Dynamo Works tunnel this time. It's just a missile tank. And, Crash and I joke a lot because in our weeklies, especially in November, mining plazas seem to be required like an awful lot of times compared to most. So that's another. Crash has a certain frustration level for extra frustration level for mining plazas. So I think Crash is breathing a sigh of relief right now that it's not required. I'm just going to use the excuse that I didn't generate this, so of course it couldn't have been required. Actually, come to think of it, yeah, going the front way, going the front way through Sank would have honestly been the better move here because Crash actually can't get to Vault Side now without either that obnoxious roll jump or screw attack. Neither of, well, the latter of which hasn't shown up yet.
Yeah. At this point, there's not much he can do by going into the temple itself, so it looks like he's headed for the roll jump.
Oh, and look
Oh,
at
hello
that.
there.
Oh, that is the worst spot possible for main power bombs right now.
Yeah, it's beginning to look a lot like power bombs.
Oh, I'm actually really wondering where Screw Attack was, because if main power bombs are there and Screw Attack is in Vault Side, uh, that puts Caretaker required.
Oh, and we missed it because we didn't have main PBs required. I think that's like the holy grail of obscure things to happen in a seed is required caretaker.
Yeah, and again, that's entirely assuming that Screw Attack is also in Vault Side. Or otherwise not locked by, or otherwise locked by main power bombs. But what Crash is doing here is similar to a BSJ. You are still considered grounded for 2/5 of a second after leaving the ground in morph ball state. So if you get an instant unmorph by obstructing the camera and performing a space jump, you can reach the other terminal fall trigger in this room.
But it is a very tight trick to get. There's not a lot of margin here.
Yeah, it's a combination of getting the roll jump, number one, number two, getting the distance. And this is another trick that I would really very much like to learn. Because, yeah, this would save a lot of time if Screw Attack was in Vault Side. Not sure if that's going to make it. It did not. Yeah, Chad points out that it's ideal to roll off either the left or right ledges here, which are a little further out, to get the extra bit of horizontal distance. Suddenly I realized why Crash was checking extra stuff in Torvis, looking for like an easy way to sank Vault Side, either through power bombs or screw attack. We can tell Crash got the roll jump when we no longer see the Christmas tree glowing object on the other side. Ooh, the rarely seen flying pirate layer here in Biostorage Chamber. Crash is running out of health. He can only try this 11 more times. But he got it.
Hey, there we go. Main power
Persistence,
bombs, access.
persistence pays off, folks.
Yeah, I think that was the little bit of extra time to get that trick was absolutely justified, given how long it would take to go the other way around.
Crash almost needed that third energy tank. But yeah, a quick trip through Cat West here, and that'll be key 9. And then Crash can just use the save station nearby and warp to start.
This could turn out to be one of the fastest seeds of the tournament.
Definitely fastest of the tournament so far. And I did not see what that was in main research. Is that Cobalt?
Isn't it the SDK?
Oh, right. Yeah. And Ganon calls Link a dingus. Yeah, this room can be a little tough to navigate in, and another problem is that Crash still does have to get out with 2 quads breathing down his neck. And they deal 20 damage per impact, too, just like Grenchler's. But it looks like the quads were nice. And yeah, Crash's last key is Defiled Shrine, so it's just pick that up, walk to the goal, and call it a seed. Koushi is now going to see the light suit in Mining Station B. Could get it with that BSJ I mentioned earlier, and that's an Inghive key, but we don't need that. Now, Crash is igniting the quad fight here because otherwise the force field to the save station will not drop.
I think Koushi might be looking up that BSJ that you mentioned.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, and I think, it's easier to do if you activate the drill. It's possible to do with Screw Attack without doing the drill with like a 2 or 3 BSJ, but I still can't do 2 or 3 BSJs to save my life yet. Oh, Koshi's just deciding, never mind. Okay. She might have been trying to do the puzzle, but that was the wrong orb cannon. Yeah, unfortunately, the drill is going to shut down, because that drill doesn't last a very long time. Yeah, it's stopping. I'm trying to think, actually, if, Actually, wait, if main power bombs were in Watch Station... Oh, then... I think the only way to go to Vault Side Sank this seed was Screw Attack. Because A, we haven't seen Echo Visor. B, you can't even get to main research without power bombs anyway. So yeah, the
Fair.
yeah,
So,
so
oh, go ahead.
yeah, Watch Station access, not main research, excuse me. But yeah, given that circumstance, then yeah, Screw Attack had to be your only way into Vault Side Sank today. So that's the major unknown, not power bombs. Oh well, I guess we'll never know.
Yeah. Rip caretaker drone someday.
It'll happen. Again, if main power bombs are, if Screw Attack is in Vault Side, that pretty much requires Caretaker. That's about it. Upper Vault Side specifically to point out.
Oh, Koshi's trying a rather interesting slope jump here.
Oh yeah, this is another backup method you can use to get the item, because there's a platform jutting out between the caged rocks and the item itself, which you can use to make your way over without much difficulty, if you get the slope jump. That's another alternative method I might consider adopting as well.
Meanwhile, Crash just a room away from finish.
And right as Koushi picks up light, well, it's going to be her dark suit in this case, Crash will be entering the Sky Temple Gateway. And in Final Boss is disabled, just entering is enough to do the trick, and that is going to give Crash a finish with a official race time GG time of 1:26.25.
Wow, GG.
Absolutely. So yeah, we just get Samus's gunship sails in the morning, and we'll be on our way to the next mission. Bonus points if anybody gets that joke.
Sailed straight over my head.
Hopefully Crash will be joining us for an interview momentarily. One second. There may be a sudden volume change, just be fairly warned. And looks like Koushi decided to go back for Sunburst real quick while she was at it. So I'm being informed that currently Crash is the fastest seed in this week of Swiss by 8 seconds compared to Bash Prime's round 1.
Wow, that is super close.
And Crash joins us here in the booth. Crash, GG to you. Congratulations.
GG.
Hey, thanks.
So, got a little worried about Mining Plaza for a second there, didn't ya?
Yeah, I thought it was one of your seeds.
Well, that's the reason why it wasn't important, because I didn't generate this.
Was it gravity or cannonball? I assume it was gravity.
It could have been either, honestly.
It was white and glowy.
Yeah, because we didn't see Cannonball yet. But when we noticed you picked up Boost and Spider practically right next to each other, it was like, well, this seed suddenly just got less interesting quickly.
Yeah, I mean, well, that was go mode basically. I didn't need
It
anything else.
was.
Yeah, like I took a minute to pause after low in the boost gate to check my hands. I was like, I can get all of these.
Yeah, we figured that was with the case too. It's like, does he realize he's in go mode after that? Because yeah, this was a very jet seed by comparison to the ones we've seen for the majority of this tournament so far.
Yeah, good thing final bosses were off too because the seed really didn't like giving out health.
Didn't like giving out health, and you would have had to go hunting for Screw Attack. The seed was expecting you to do that to get main power bombs anyway too.
Yeah, it's funny because like when I was going from Torvis to Aegon, I realized, would it be faster to just go through Sank entrance from a save warp? Whatever. And then when I went from Aegon to Sank entrance, well, Aegon to Sank, I was like, oh wait, I'm gonna have to do that roll jump. Whatever.
And then you see main power bombs.
Yeah, that was just mean.
It was.
Ugh.
But yeah, you did not need to pick up that light suit in Mining Station B.
Yeah, Mining Station B. It used to be one of those locations I would always just walk past a bunch, and then something important would be in there. So now I just check it all the time. For once, Storage A actually had something in it, even if it was just a key.
Yeah, we were noticing that too. Koushi right now is about to get the Hazing Cliff key. She didn't get her hints. She was actually very late to Dark Beam due to
Not having the dark suit.
yeah, due to suit issues and not picking up an energy tank. Still has no energy tanks, I don't think.
Yeah, I believe that on this seed. How many keys does she have right now?
She has 5. I think the keys she's missing are main research, gathering hall. Let me see.
Roots.
Path of Roots and Defiled Shrine. She hasn't gone to Dark Sky Temple grounds yet.
Oh, okay. So check hints, and those are all pretty quick.
Yeah, you were almost in go mode at hints, save for the ball upgrades. It's actually really just convenient they were both chilling right next to each other in Torvis.
Yeah. Oh, right. I also needed to just want to talk about that Dark Visor into Amber.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious.
Because I was like I lowered the light crystal gate to Plane of Dark Worship early. I was like, nah, I should probably do the loop first, just in case I get something. And then it has nothing in it, and then I finally come back. It was like, oh. I do wonder where the last Aegon key was, though. It might with that Dark Visor it might have been in Battlegrounds in the cache.
That's where
Yeah.
we think it was, honestly. Because we did see the red key hint for Torvis, and they were in Dark Torvis and Inghive. So they were nowhere near that in cache. So that's -3 keys.
I am disappointed that because I didn't get Gravity, I couldn't get Annihilator to use my Sonic Boom.
Ooh, yeah.
Well, all 4 beam combos were like super early because
They were.
There was Sonic Boom, which pick it up in a heartbeat, of course, and then there was Sunburst in Mineshaft, and then Dark Burst in
Main reactor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So they were all just like right next to each other.
it was actually funny. I literally had said, hey, wouldn't it be hilarious if Dark Burst was in main reactor after we saw Sonic Boom?
And like 10 seconds later.
Oh, look, Dark Burst.
Yeah. Oh well, there weren't really any bosses on this seed though, so I wouldn't have even been able to use Sonic Boom on anything.
Yeah, that is, of course, the major question mark is Screw Attack at this point, but we We aren't gonna go too crazy about trying to find out where that was.
Yeah, because there's no final bosses, and even if I didn't do the roll jump, you could have just gone through Sank entrance to get that way. Well, actually, logically, you're expected to go all the way up and around because of where main power bombs are, but we don't care about that in this seed.
Yeah, having expansions enabled definitely allowed for some serious skipping here.
So
Koushi has said GG in the race time, but is electing to keep going.
yeah, I don't know how long Koshi's gonna take, because I'm probably not gonna stay here the whole time. I'm probably gonna dip in like momentarily.
We'll see. I mean, right now, at this point, she's now gotten the ability to check her hints, so all she really needs to do is check those and go to Torvis, and that's about it.
Just
Although
pulling up the
she
commentary
she
stream,
she needs
and
Amber Translator too, actually.
oh yeah, and just pulling up the commentary stream, and she's just got light suit and zero E-tanks.
Yeah,
Uh,
no, she hasn't gotten any E-tanks.
that guy,
Oh god, Pillbogs.
yeah, pillbogs. Yeah, these guys specifically, they deal like way more damage than the pillbugs on the other side of Aegon for no reason. It's
Probably
like,
because you're not expected to be in that particular corridor until way later.
well, I mean, you can go there as soon as you get light beam.
True. I don't know. It's just not really convenient to use that tunnel yet. In the vanilla.
Yeah, I guess they're like stronger versions of pillbugs that you would see in the in like the Spider Guardian arena after beating them.
Just
They're
about, probably. And
they're
there's the gold
alpha
drop
pill
anyway.
bugs.
Ah, good. Yeah, super pillbugs.
But yeah, you both played really well. Koushi has demonstrated some nice movement with BSJs, but yeah, she just chose to not get Dark Beam, and that slowed a lot of things down. That and
Yeah,
the low health of the seed did not help either. Let's be perfectly honest.
yeah, because I think Koushi is like a prime. She said she's a prime one player primarily.
Yes.
So she's got a lot more, good movement fundamentals, but probably not much on the routing. So that would make sense.
Yeah, we noticed she was spending a couple of minutes trying to get up Dark Cat East, except there kinda isn't a barrier in that area. But at this point, I think Koshi's on her way to check hints.
All right, then that should make this wrap up relatively quickly. So, in that case, I'm probably gonna dip out now. But yeah, thanks for having me.
No problem. GG's and congratulations on winning round one.
Yep.
Yeah, congrats.
See you guys next week.
Indeed. But yeah, while we're kind of just winding things down here, again, we do invite you to follow both of these runners as they put on a fantastic show for you here this afternoon. As we're coming to the closer to the end of our double header on here on Speed Gaming 3 of the Metroid Prime 2 Echoes Randomizer 2021 tournament. It is only the end of the first round of Swiss. We've got 4 more coming up, folks. So you will be seeing a lot more Prime 2 action here on Speed Gaming over the next month. And a little more after, too, once we get into the brackets. And with Amber Translator coming up, Koushi will be able to go to Torvis. Gets the Amber Translator, has much less difficulty navigating a Cursed Lake thanks to Light Suit. Alright, Koushi is heading back to Aegon. I wonder if she's going for the Battlegrounding cache. Oh, she might think that Mining Plaza is relevant still. That'd be very unfortunate if that's the case, since we now know that isn't.
May still get to see a major boss.
Might get to see one, but and with Light Beam and Super Missiles, it admittedly is pretty painless. Although Zero E-Tanks is still highly questionable, but Light Suit helps too.
Definitely.
Taking a save warp. I don't think that would be really particularly useful given the circumstances.
Maybe a safety save.
Yeah, looks like it. And then heading back left. I'm surprised Koushi, if that's the case, I'm surprised Koushi decided to not just save at landing site.
Yeah.
Oh, nope, she's continuing back into Aegon. I wonder if
Oh,
she is
the
going for the...
Amberhans.
That might be it too. Or not. Admittedly, I've walked past Mining Plaza's hint a few times too, so I have a tendency to miss it just because it's kind of obscure sometimes if Amber, especially when Amber is this late in the logic chain. I swear if Screw Attack has been chilling in Sand Cache this whole time. Okay. It
That's
wasn't.
missile.
That would have been ridiculous. Ooh, Koushi just took another... Koushi just took another face plant from the pirates. The arrow troopers deal 5 damage per shot as well, just like Dark Pirates, so they're equally as dangerous. And these are the Hive Temple keys, Dark Aegon, Sank, and Torvis. Oh, Dark Aegon has an Inghive key. Did we see an Inghive key earlier when we were going through Dark Aegon?
I don't remember. There were not a lot of keys in here just because of how many items we found early on. So there's a strong possibility that that's the Inghive key that was hinted in Battleground.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. So maybe that other Aegon key is completely... maybe it's in Sank somewhere. Maybe it's in Vault Side. It could also be that we just... it's in Cache 2 or someplace really stupid. Excuse me a moment.
Okay, and this may finally be the hint check that we've been waiting for.
Alright, Koshi's back in Temple Grounds.
Yep, took the save warp, headed down to Torvis' side. Just seems to be scanning around for any potential items.
Yeah, a little fun fact about the item dots is that that is actually not integrated into the game normally. That is something that is originally a feature in Metroid Prime 3, but was able to be brought into Prime 2 through the randomizer. So it's a great backup system in case you're looking for stuff.
Oh, absolutely. When I was first learning the rando, that was a lifesaver.
Alright, so yeah, Koshi's going to enter Torvis via the front door. Probably going to quickly pit stop at Wind Chamber Gate. May want to consider opening the other block first, though, just because of the Dark Pirates in this room being a little annoying on the second layer. Never mind, she's just going to BSJ it. And that was like a multi-BSJ, too. That's not an easy BSJ to do, so I will give credit where it's due. So I do believe after today's matches, after all three of our 3 p.m. matches are completed, they will. We will be getting the matching set up for round 2, which should start this upcoming week. So
Yeah.
definitely stay tuned to the Speed Gaming schedule for updates on when our next matches are going to take place.
It's been quite a fast-paced tournament so far. There's definitely a lot of really good VODs to go through and a lot of good races next week to look forward to.
Yeah, just to to really put it into perspective, now that the Bellator Reed Whaley match got a restream on SG5, that is a grand total of 13 restreams this week for Prime 2, starting from Tuesday. So, yeah, we've got... just expect to see more of this because we still got 4 more rounds of Swiss coming up, and we now can confirm, by the way, that Morph Ball upgrade is garbage. It is going to definitely be Power Bomb Tank.
Koushi rightly being very cautious around those shredders.
Yeah, those can give you a good hammering, too, if you let too many collide at once. Or if you go to the save station and then walk back out too fast.
Yep. Or you just happen to try and walk right through the room next to this one, because if I remember correctly, there's 5 shredders in there. They do about 20 damage apiece, and if you only have your starting E-Tank...
I think it's 7, actually.
Oh.
It's definitely more than 5. But yeah, don't go near those things when they explode. Main rule of thumb. Alright, Koushi taking another safety save. It is good to save often, especially if you are... I don't know if Koushi's playing on console or Dolphin, but just in case Dolphin crashes. We've already seen a couple of unfortunate cases where that has led to some minor... severe, actually, not even minor, some severe hiccups in our races this week. Unfortunately, Koushi will not be able to scan that, I don't think. Yeah, because the game places the scan trigger on the other side.
Yeah. It would be super convenient if you could just skip that first trip around.
Yeah, not the case, unfortunately. And that would be the Sky Temple key in Path of Roots. A nice easy grapple beam to acquire that one. I'm excited for... starting next week, we will actually be playing on version 2.4.0 of the randomizer. We're currently playing for this week on version 2.3. Because that's the one we agreed on before the tournament started, and 2.4 came out right around the same time as we started. We didn't want to confuse participants with different versions, but yeah, in 2.4, to my understanding, is mainly going to have multi-world improvements and also new joke hints. I'm not sure if that's in 2.4 or not, but I would like to see new joke hints. They are being worked on.
I'm looking forward to that as well. We've got some definite gems in here, but it's also nice to mix it up.
Yeah, of course, everybody's favorite, Hear the Words of O'Lear, starting at one of the tourney matches right off the bat yesterday. Nice collision with that charge shot. Yeah, Koushi now on Great Bridge. Now something you could do. There's two ways you can get up to the upper section of Great Bridge without going all the way around. Number one is that you can do a slope jump screw attack from the from near where the Emerald Door is. There's a bit of a incline which gives you enough of a height to land a screw attack in the appropriate location to get onto the bridge. Alternatively, Alternatively, you can do a bomb space jump up the east side ledge near the light door and scan the pillar from up there once you've made it up. But it looks like Koshi's just going to go the old-fashioned way around to Forgotten Bridge and then to the upper temple.
And here's those shredders. Now, if I remember correctly, they burst pretty quickly when you shoot missiles, but only missiles, right?
Yes, they will enlarge faster with repeated regular shots, but they explode instantly to a missile. I don't know if that also, if inflating them and then exploding them increases the blast radius at all.
Yeah. Well, fortunately, she made it through there safely, getting her intro to the Grenchlers.
Now, this would be nothing a power bomb can't solve, but oh, that forward Grenchler playing defense there.
Ooh, we got the double freeze.
Yeah, Grenchlers are a lot like Shigots in that sense, where they have a shell backside, and then you have to hit that.
Good deal more HP on the backside, though. It's just one charge shot for the Shigots, right?
Right, yeah, the Shigots have a lot less HP than a Grenchler. Oh, there goes that one. And what is that, a light tank? Yeah, totally a light tank. We've seen some very, not during this tournament, but there are some very fancy combinations you can do with the beam tanks and the missiles and power bombs to make some fancy seeds. I know Jagger, a couple of settings Jagger G likes to play with includes like a zero mission setup where, because zero mission has so many power bomb tanks, so there's as many power bomb tanks in this as in zero mission, but some of the power bomb tanks are fakes and don't give any power bombs.
Oh, interesting. They're kind of like the nothing models from Prime 1.
Not even like the nothing models. They take the forms of regular power bombs, but they just don't give any power bombs. If you scan an expansion, it'll tell you exactly how much of that item it gives you. So if Koushi were to scan like a missile, for example, it would say missile expansion that provides five extra missiles and adds 1%.
I see, but these would just say, you get nothing.
This would say a power bomb expansion that gives you 0 power bombs. And another setting that I've seen, I don't know if this is one of Jagger's settings or not, but it's an other M style setting where missile tanks only give you 1 missile.
Oof, that's rough.
It's rough until you get to 10 missiles.
That's fair.
You gotta hand it for Koushi for taking her time just to, get a lay of the land, understand like all the stuff that needs to be done for Echoes, because again, she is coming from the Prime 1 side of things, so we gotta give credit where it's due for taking the time to learn all the places that need to be done.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's no substitute for experience. Having persistence is also a major bonus on top of that.
Indeed. Another Dark Ammo tank in Putrid Alcove. Yeah, we didn't really see any of Dark Upper Torvus just because there was nothing in there this time.
Well, there is that Morph Ball related upgrade, but We didn't have light beam when Crash came, or light suit when Crash came through. So I guess we'll finally get to find out what it is this time.
Luck. Oh, and the Huntering's dead.
That was an interesting encounter there.
Yep. The best way to deal with Huntering is to really just get up close and then slam him with a shotgun light beam charge. That's my preferred way. The actual preferred way is to just throw an Annihilator shot onto the light zone, but can't do that without Annihilator Beam. And Annihilator Beam is in the opposite version of this room. I'm sure Koushi's going to be happy to see that, though.
Yeah.
And yeah, she's just going to take a quick pit stop to Poison Ball, grab the item in here. We now know that this is going to be a power bomb tank. If it is Cannonball, then that's going to put Gravity Boost in Mining Plaza.
Okay, there we go. Uh, she's taking a moment. Oh, just a cheeseburger.
Yeah, that was probably what was going to be. That would have been crazy if that was Cannonball. Seeds like these just throw a lot of thoughts into your head about what might have been. Because, we know that this seed came, if it weren't for the fact that Screw Attack was needed to reach Vault Side, this was dangerously close to a Caretaker seed.
Yeah. And that's one of the interesting things about this randomizer is that because there's a lot of hard requirements on checks, and so many of the requirements are sort of interlocked, so you usually need at least a couple items for any particular check. Even though you may have started with a lot of things, there can always be that one item.
Right. We actually had a seed in last year's tournament. I think I specifically remember it was a Swiss round Kirby Master vs. Op 82. It was actually a random elevator seed where the logical chain for main power bombs was like a three-world, back and forth between Torvis, where they started, Dark Torvis specifically, Temple Grounds, and Aegon, to go from Torvis to, there's Screw Attack. It was right
Oh,
there
hey.
in Venomous Pond, so it was free. Okay, never mind. So forget all that potential boss nonsense. The seed has now been solved.
And it was a required grapple.
Indeed, it was. So you got your wish.
Yeah.
Aang being stupid again. And luckily, the nice thing about Light Suit is Koushi can take as long as she needs with this. But yeah, that'll basically solve the rest of the seed for Koushi. She does still have to go get hints, though. Might be save warping here, but we'll see.
Yeah, which is a little unfortunate because she's almost on top of the 2 ball upgrades she needs. She's just in the wrong world.
Alright, she's gonna go check Cache B now. Might take an ammo refill. Yeah, it looks... Oh, I thought that was what she was doing, but I guess not.
Changed her mind. When she pulled up the map, I think Cache B, the dot was just off the bottom of the map, so she may have missed that.
Maybe. I'm looking at the SpeedGaming schedule right now, and I think I realize now why we were able to get our third restream set up. I think one of the Link to the Past Randomizer League matches may have been rescheduled or postponed because there were
Uh,
originally two for between 2 and 6, I think, but the second one got rescheduled. But yeah, in the meantime, yeah, we do still have the other two races. I think they're still going on. Let me have a quick peek. Oh, it looks like the SG6 race of Diceron versus Lucarius has already concluded, with Diceron taking first. So Diceron has taken the first round of Swiss. And it looks like we're still in the middle of the SG5 race of Bellator versus Reed Whaley. Both runners still going at it, so something must have happened this seed.
that's going to be a good one to watch later.
Yeah, definitely going to have to watch these VODs for sure. Unfortunately, because Koushi did turn Dark Forgotten Bridge, does now have to deal with grapple pirates for the first time, because this is normally where the game has you first encounter them.
Yeah.
For some reason before regular commandos.
Yeah, I always found that a little... Well, you do encounter... No, this is the first one, because you don't get to the
Grove
roof
until
area.
after Emerald Translator.
That's right. Yeah.
I think this also changes this layer to have a... Oh, nope, it's still set to the, what'd you call them? Shredders? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Koushi might be attempting air underwater now to get not Screw Attack, to get Annihilator Beam.
Looks like it.
Yeah, how this works is, yeah, just as Crash was doing it. Actually, Crash wasn't doing air underwater earlier, was he? I'm thinking the last race.
He didn't have Screw Attack when he came through here.
Yeah, but basically how air underwater works is that you morph on the same frame you touch the water, or you switch between water and morph ball. Or you get the idea, between water and air. And this allows you to Screw Attack underwater, which will allow you to retrieve the Torvus Lagoon item without gravity boost. Which can certainly help if it is something extremely valuable, like Annihilator Beam, for example.
Yeah. I'm not super familiar with performing this trick, but does she need to be a little further up the slope in order to get the timing right?
I think she doesn't necessarily need to be further up the slope, but it does help if you have a little bit of air before hitting the water. Yeah, like right there, right where she's at right now is good. But she just needs to time the morph right. And again, it's frame perfect in a 60 FPS game. So you have the attempts to do so, but it's just that the window is paper thin.
Yeah, and these are already some very advanced tricks that we're seeing out of Koushi. I think once she gets a little more familiar with the map layout, I'm excited to see what she can do.
She might be studying a bit how to do air underwater here. Yeah, I guess she's just taking extra time to study. She hasn't entered a DNF yet in the race time, so still plans on keeping going. And again, props to her for tenacity on this one.
Absolutely.
And yeah, it looks like she's electing to do a method where she space jumps into the water, which is personally what I do as well, just to ensure that I have a little more speed hitting the water. It feels like it's easier to time if I'm going faster. If there's essentially more distance between me and the water, but that's just me. Oh, well, she is going to save again. Let's see. It's actually, it's just so unfortunate in this case that Annihilator Beam is not even required. It's not going to do her any favors. It's, if anything, it's going to send her the wrong way towards like Incash 2 or Sentinel's Path, which both are not required tonight.
That's true. Yeah. But it looks like she is passing on it for now. Um, we'll see whether she makes her way to the temple.
Oh yeah, because she never got the, because yeah, the temple had another energy tank, didn't it? Yeah. You don't have to kill the Grenchlers in this room, actually, on the first layer. They do, they don't lock this door.
Yeah, there's quite a few little events in this where you can just sort of nope on out of them. Remember, a friend of mine and I used to call Hall of Combat Mastery Hall of Combat Avoidance, just because you could walk right past the quads and the ink smashers and whatever else you may encounter there.
Yeah, that's what we still call it here. We still call it that here to this day too. Just because, yeah, it really is a fairly useless check. Or a fairly useless inhibitor with the Ink Smashers and the quads. The check itself is actually very valuable. In fact, more often than not, it has something good in it. Because we coined the term Spider's Treasure last year, I think, because it's Sank Spider's side according to what the elevator says. And there's 3 items there, and they don't need much to get. If you're going from Aegon, they only need light beam, missiles, bombs, and main power bombs. That's it. And Spider Ball. To get all 3 items, and more often than not, they'll have progression. She has stopped again, still continuing to go in the race time. This could be easily circumvented, thankfully, with a screw attack. Did Koushi forget she picked that up? Oh, and she got spored.
I hate these things.
Feed me, Samus!
Probably the closest thing we'll get to Samus Eaters in 3D Metroid.
Yeah. Besides the little Venusaurs in Super Metroid. We can call them that, right?
Yeah.
Alright, Koushi is going to go into the temple, pick up the energy tank, and, might end up going for the, Fun fact, you can pick up this item with Screw Attack and not Morph Ball Bombs.
Oh, you mean that little plate that's covering the thing you
Yeah,
drop down
that
into?
is breakable. That is breakable, I think, via Screw Attack. It's certainly possible to check it without going into the tunnel with Screw Attack, but I'm not sure if... I'm actually not 100% sure if you can Screw Attack the actual plate. Especially given how broken Screw Attack is, I wouldn't be surprised.
Learn something new every day.
That's my line. No, I'm kidding. Ooh, Koshi's using Light Beam, which Light Beam only does half damage to similar world enemies, so that's only 10 damage, and Flying Pirates have like 100 HP. I did like this fight though back in vanilla game because it was a lot of combat. Because usually most of the Prime games aren't about combat really until Prime 3, but this had a lot of combat in it and I loved it.
Yeah. I think this and the fight at Sank entrance with the like swarm of pirate commandos. Because those actually, on your first playthrough, they can provide a real challenge.
Yeah, nowadays the strategy I prefer to deal with them is there's 6 total. There's the 2 that spawn on the bridge, one later than the other, and then there's the 4 in the back. The way I like to deal with them is to Dark Beam Missile the bridge pirate out front. And then, yeah, the Emerald Translator hint for the Emerald hint. That's right. Yeah. I like to Dark Beam Missile the first commando. If I have Boost Ball, I'll boost into the commando in the center near the light door, which will knock him back enough closer to the third center commando's spawn point. Lay the power bomb, hopefully catch all 4 commandos in the same blast. And then just go Dark Beam Missile the last one on the back bridge. That's how I'd ideally like to do it, but if you don't have Boost Ball, knocking that the second central pirate back can be a little bit troublesome.
Mm.
Although a super missile could probably do nicely in that regard. Yeah, right now, actually, Koushi can't forget about Torva's Temple access because that has Spider Ball. Oh, she's gonna miss it. Oh dear. She is gonna get boost here, though. But since the elevator is working, she can just go right back up, to be fair.
I don't think she's super happy about the boost ball location.
Well, I don't think it's that. Okay, never mind. I think, yeah, never mind.
She just might not have been.
He thought the grate might have needed to be destructible or some kind. Yeah, not the case. You can just waltz right under it. She's also doesn't appear to be turning around going for Spider Ball, at least not until this Grenchler's dead. This Grenchler can be a bit of a problem just because of how condensed the space is.
Yeah, it's really difficult to sneak up behind it.
Did we see what this hint said? I don't think so. I think we did, actually.
Yeah, I don't think it was terribly important.
But yeah, at this point, folks, we are probably going to wrap it up here. It's going to be a while before Koushi finishes. So at this point, yeah, we're going to wrap things up here. We do thank you all for coming by to watch this race in the Metroid Prime 2 Echoes Randomizer 2020 tournament. Definitely follow both of our runners because despite the seed throwing a couple of explosive wrenches into the works, both runners put on a fantastic show for you here today. Definitely also want to shout out, follow Lokir, our tracker, who's been doing a great job making sure everybody knows who has what, especially with this fairly crazy start we had. And Nomad, thank you for joining me up here in the booth, and welcome to the Prime 2 community.
Absolutely, thank you. Glad to be here.
With that said, folks, on behalf of all of us here at SpeedGaming and the MP Metroid Prime Randomizer community, we thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your day or night, and we will see you next mission.